All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time again. Step in the ring with the greatest tag team in podcast history. Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW podcast, hosted by Travis T.
I'm Dizzle J.
And we got quite a bit to discuss this week.
Yeah, a lot of rumor mills going around.
A lot of things in the news. One of the biggest things I guess we could start with is a shocking announcement, I think, that happened. I don't know if it was yesterday or been a couple days, and I just heard about yesterday. But it looks like the in-ring career of Paige is done.
At least as far as WWE in-ring goes. I don't know how much longer her contract is for, but the video was, I mean, we just got done talking about it. Mm-hmm. It was scary watching the afterwards of the bump.
Yeah, and from what the article was saying, and if I'm reading it right, and again, I could be completely wrong about it because it was just brought to my attention yesterday. It looks like this actually happened like a month ago.
Really?
Yeah, and I like I said, I could be wrong, but just reading the first few lines here of this article from HollywoodLife.com. Again, I don't know if this is like one of these blurbs or whatever the fuck it is, but WWE star Paige, being only 25 years old,
right,
was kicked in the back by a fellow competitor, which we know is Sasha Banks, during a 6-woman tag team wrestling competition in Long Island, New York last month. Now, this article was posted up here on the 13th, which is today as we record.
Right.
So I'm trying to remember now, like, because I mean, obviously she's been on TV since, but has she been like in any matches or anything that you can recall?
Now that I think of it, she hasn't been. I believe the other two have. Mm-hmm. Or if she's been in the ring, it's been very, very, very limited. Yeah, and it sucks to hear about it. And like, she just got back after being off for a year because of a neck injury. And we saw the video. And if you guys haven't seen the video yet, it is out there on social media. Basically, Paige threw Sasha into the corner. Yep.
Went to go, I don't know, for like a clothesline or something like that. And she got like the normal, back elbow that, you normally get when you're trying to reverse a corner shot. And then Sasha did her normal, like, kick, to the back and everything that she has done multiple times. It looks like this one, it wasn't probably timed right, or maybe she just hit it in the wrong spot. Paige went down, and the most horrifying part of the video isn't so much the kick, but seeing Paige on the ground, like, trying to get up. I mean, it was almost like a newborn trying to walk at that point. I mean, it was super scary. I watched the video, and I was trying to figure out, I'm like, how, what happened? And I mean, she did hit pretty hard. I couldn't figure out if it was from the kick or from the landing. But the way, I mean, don't get me wrong, like we said, she still tried to go. Yeah. She even afterwards and everything, and after the struggle of getting up and everything, she still tried to reach for Sasha to not get the tag. Right. She collapsed again, and then the ref threw up the X and everything for DX. For medics to come on and everything, and it was sad to see. It's hard. To see this and everything, especially, like, she hasn't really said much about it on social media. No. She made, like, one post, I know, on Instagram, mentioning how, like, she didn't mention much of it, but kind of just being, like, being optimistic about, what's going on. But it's got to be hard knowing that WWE's not going to clear her to wrestle anymore, and you have the first ever Women's Royal Rumble coming up in 3 weeks. I mean, the chance to be part of history, and you're going to miss it. Yeah. And especially, like we said, at age 25, to have your wrestling career go down the tubes. Yeah. And it's weird because she's only 25 years old, but she has a decade of wrestling, like, under her belt. And lineage. Yeah, and she obviously could have had another 10 years. Easy. At least. But it looks like it is, for the time being, at least from the WWE perspective, it is cut short. It is over. In my opinion, if that's the case when it comes to WWE, I don't think she'll stay there. She'll probably, maybe go into the Indies or something like that. See, I don't know if any other, like, well-known wrestling companies, like, Global Force Wrestling, Lucha Underground, Ring of Honors, New Japan, do you think any of them would allow her to wrestle? I'm thinking that WWE has such a higher standard, and I'm not trying to knock any of the other people down,
But WWE has such a high standard. Even with Daniel Bryan, who has been cleared by regular doctors, but not by WWE doctors. So will they accept her? They might.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is like not so much like allowing her to wrestle, but accepting the liability if something happens. You know, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, like if WWE allowed her to wrestle and something happened, if there's a lawsuit, WWE could probably cover the lawsuit. If New Japan Ring of Honor thing has something related to that, I know they don't have the money WWE has.
No,
but at the same time, like I don't know how these because they're all contract. They're all contractors.
Right, they're all contract.
So
I know WWE's contracts are way more intense than anybody else's contracts. So it could be in there that if you get injured, we're still going to pay you this amount of money.
Yeah,
but you're not going to get the full amount of money that you were promised with your. But if you go as far as like Ring of Honor and stuff, like I don't even know if Ring of Honor has a medical staff, other than whatever is available in the town that they're in at the time.
Yeah. So only time will tell as we go forward and watch and everything to kind of see it. She does have a movie about her life coming out this year.
Right.
So I doubt the ending's gonna be. I doubt it's too late to change the ending, but I'm excited to see that movie.
It does sound very interesting. Like you said, 25 with at least 10 years of. So that means at age 15 she was wrestling.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and she even in the movie and like interviews and stuff, she talks about how like when she started out, she wrestled like with her mom, she wrestled against her mom,
right?
Too, like out in England, I believe.
Yeah, I believe they're from England.
So I mean, and her dad owns the wrestling company, so the lineage, like you mentioned, she has is great. Out there across the pond, if you will, in UK and all that. So I mean, who knows? Maybe this will be like this will kind of be her way of like, if I can't wrestle here at WWE, I might as well just go back home. And I mean, over the last year and a half and everything, like she has had a pretty roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
Between the sex tapes coming out, her relationship with Alberto Del Rio, and now this and everything. It sucks to think that a WWE without Paige is pretty much happening.
Right. It's crazy because like. She finally started getting back into the groove of things. They gave her own stable.
Yep.
And then this happens. So does she continue to manage the two NXT girls?
I think they could offer that opportunity. The only thing I don't think would work with that is if you were a professional wrestler, would you stick around to manage other people? I don't think her heart would be in it at that point.
Well, I mean, you're talking a lot of wrestlers did do that, though.
Not at 25 years old.
No, not at 25 years old. I mean, at the end of their career, they...
Yeah. With Maurice just being a manager, not wrestling, regardless of the pregnancy thing, when she came back to WWE, she came back as a manager, not a competitor.
Right.
She did have the one match at WrestleMania, but that was later in her career, and Sunny, I think she was more of a manager than a wrestler. Miss Elizabeth was definitely just a manager, and even Tori, she was a manager for Kane and X-Pac and all that later in her career.
Right.
So I mean, like when you get a little older, yeah, I can see that, but I think her being 25 years old, being a manager of Absolution with women who are her age still doing what she's doing, I don't think her heart would be into doing that stuff. It's kind of like with Daniel Bryan, doing what he's doing now, but not really having the heart in that. And it kind of like brings me to a point of another article that you kind of like brought to my attention.
And where Daniel Bryan didn't, assumingly, he didn't sign his contract extension.
Yeah. It looks like he was offered, some additional, pay, more time here at WWE, and it doesn't look like he took it.
He was even quoted as saying he doesn't care about the money, he just wants to wrestle. And he's been, like I said before, he's been cleared by other doctors, just not WWE doctors. So he could go to Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, Lucha Underground. He can go anywhere he wants to go, New Japan. Mm-hmm. Then you get a Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson at that point, I believe.
Yeah. Now, if he was, I don't think he'd go to New Japan. First of all, I think just because of the family thing and everything, I don't see
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of like with AJ Styles. Like, he went over to New Japan because that's where the work was, but his whole goal is coming back here. I can see Daniel going back to Ring of Honors. Him taking on, like, the new Cody Rhodes or Jay Lethal. You know, I think those would be some great things. Or he could have a match with Kenny Omega, but here in Ring of Honors, not in New Japan.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, if he chooses not to have the extension, let his contract run out, and he does get back into the ring, then like the possibilities are endless for him to go. I hope he stays away from Global Force.
Impact.
Yeah, whatever you want. Is it called Impact?
It's called Impact. No, it's just called Impact.
Oh, that's dumb.
But they have the Global Force Championship.
That's dumber. Mm-hmm. I miss TNA. Old TNA. You know, 8-sided ring and shit. Loved it.
Well, they went back to the 8-sided ring.
Did they?
Yeah. But they've partnered with several other promotions around the world. Mm-hmm. So they send their wrestlers everywhere. So sometimes they'll show matches, which is in the regular ring. But when they're in their home show, it's the 8-sided ring that they do.
Okay.
I'm
so out of the loop on that show, man. So out of the loop.
You know, if my son didn't watch it, I probably wouldn't watch it. But there's also, I mean, you have William Corgan, formerly of the Smashing Pumpkins, who has purchased NWA.
Yeah. Yeah, he owns all the rights and titles and everything.
All the rights and titles. Who's to say he can't grab Daniel Bryan and rebuild the NWA from the ground up? With Daniel Bryan as the face of the company.
I can see that. Now, if he went back into the Indies, he'd have to go back to being Daniel or Bryan Danielson.
Right. I don't think WWE would let him keep the. They might let him keep the name Daniel Bryan, but I really think Daniel Bryanson.
Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, whatever.
Daniel Bryanson.
The American Dragon. I think that's what he'll go back to. And, I mean, that's what brought him to the game. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's, yeah, exactly. That's how he got into NXT and all that stuff. So, I hope it works out for him. Like, regardless of what he decides to do, if he changes his mind and stays awesome, I'm so iffy on this whole storyline they're kind of running, especially after his kind of heel announcement he made last week with making the handicap title match.
Now, see, I think there might be a little something more behind that, and I don't think he's included Shane in the long run, because this is what I think is going to happen.
Okay, I'm ready to hear this.
You ready to hear?
I am so ready.
Dizzle J's conspiracy theory of the week right here. So, what's going to happen is Sammy and Kevin win the title.
Okay.
And they're but there can't be a co, so he's gonna pit Sammy against Kevin to figure out who the real champion is. Destroying the Sammy and Kevin show.
You think that's gonna happen?
That's what I would do.
It'd be a good storyline.
It'd be a great storyline.
It'd be an absolutely great storyline. And if that happens, you know, awesome, more pound to him. But who makes the pin on AJ? Because that would kind of help the storyline by saying, like, well, if I made the pin, technically I'm the champion, so it can't be two.
I think Kevin would be more.
I think I could see Diddy giving the pin to Sammy, so at least he has that. Because they haven't done much with him, and now that they have, like, a storyline with him working in it,
yeah,
I think that'd be the great thing. Where, like, if you so let's go with the logic of your theory here. They both win it. They both count as co-champions, but there can only be one. Giving it to Sami Zayn would push Kevin Owens to be like, listen, you know, I've been champ before. I know how it is and everything. Right. You don't. And, you know, it kind of like throws that, like, you know, kind of like a cheap shot at Sammy. It gives him the actual championship. But yeah, then it puts them into a feud, you know, with each other. And hopefully it works out, you know, as long as they don't do a fucking poke of doom and shit like Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash did. You know, I think that'd be a great storyline. But realistically, I don't see that being the case here. I see AJ retaining the title in the handicap match somehow.
Shane interfering.
Yeah, or maybe Shane like mentions it beforehand, like, you know, like the Tuesday before the Royal Rumble, like, just so you guys know, there is no such thing as co-heavyweight champion. Right. One of you, whoever makes the pin, wins. And then when one goes for the pin, the other one stops the other one. And then it kind of like cause a break in there. Yeah, I could see that's how AJ ends up winning. Right. You know, like Kevin, gets hit with the hula kick. And then, AJ goes with the... That's how I'm predicting the match to end. That's my prediction right there.
That's your prediction?
Yeah, either... I don't know, because even Kevin can do the pop-up powerbomb. Okay, Kevin does pop-up powerbomb to Sami Zayn out of anger, and then AJ hits him with the flying forearm. That's the finish right there. That's the finish.
That is... Like, as he comes down with Sami, right? He comes back up, and then bam. That's the finish. Man.
Dude, if that's not the finish, you make that the finish.
That's the finish now.
But, yeah, I mean, hopefully that goes good and everything. I'm excited to see the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of good matches coming on. It was announced on SmackDown that Gable and Shelton Benjamin are taking on the Usos in a 2-out-3 fall. We got the triple threat match between Kane, Braun Strowman, and Brock Lesnar for the title. AJ in the handicap match versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And then we got both Royal Rumbles.
So no Intercontinental? I know the finals for the the U.S. Championship are that night.
Yep, yeah, we got that, which I watched Mojo, and I was kind of impressed with his match against Zack Ryder.
He looked different, like very controlled and
focused.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I definitely see like more of a focus in him, and he's developing that heel turn.
I love that aggressiveness where he was basically just grabbing Ryder by the mouth and just moving him around.
Yeah.
Oh, where you at? It's like, damn, dude, that's like, should I used to do my little brother?
So currently what we have 4 matches, and we're not doing our predictions today. We're going to do that in a couple weeks. But we have Enzo Amore taking on Cedric Alexander, and that's a Cruiserweight Championship match. Usos versus Gable and Benjamin, the 2-out-3s fall. Seth Rollins and Jordan versus Cesaro and Sheamus. It looks like a regular tag team match. Styles taking on Owens and Zayn in the handicap title match. The tournament, the final tournament, final round of the tournament for the U.S. title. Then obviously the triple threat Universal title match, and then 2 Royal Rumbles. So that's what we look like we have currently. I don't see any of them set as pre-match shows or pre-show matches as of yet. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll kind of see how it's going and everything. And, yeah, so Royal Rumble looks like to be pretty good. They kind of list here people who declared themselves in the Royal Rumble. We got Elias, Orton, and Nakamura, John Cena, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Matt Hardy, Samoa Joe, Bray Wyatt, Rusev, and Aiden English have all, announced themselves to be in it. So we got 11 of them so far, and we got, who knows,
So I know you didn't watch when Matt was broken. So what are you thinking of the Woken Matt Hardy?
I haven't seen Raw yet, so I didn't see the Woken Matt Hardy match, the debut match of Woken Matt Hardy. Haven't seen it yet, so I don't know quite yet what to feel about it. But based on the promos, I kind of enjoy him.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
and I believe they got the broken. They can use the broken now if they really want to. That's been finalized.
That has been.
That's been finalized.
Yeah. Well, who knows? And since we recapped the guys, we can recap the women's. Also, Naomi, Asuka, Ruby Riott, and Natalya. They all said they're in. Sasha, Bayley, Mandy Rose, and Sonya. They're also shown in there. Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Also, Mickie James, Nia Jax, and Becky Lynch. So I'm super excited Becky's back because she is still my favorite. So yeah, we got 16 competitors already set up for the Women's Royal Rumble match. That leaves 14 more open slots.
I mean, you gotta think that you're gonna see Trish, Lita,
Michelle McCool.
We talked about. Maybe Layla.
I can see Layla coming. Well, Layla did come back for a while, a couple years back. I know she kind of came back for a short period of time, so I can see that coming back. Kind of like a late cool kind of thing. So not so much after Royal Rumble, but within the Royal Rumble, kind of a late cool kind of, teaming together. Melina is a strong possibility. I mean, even though, like, I saw some things where she burned her bridge, but she is a possibility too. I mean, you can't forget about, Nikki Cross and Ember Moon and everything down in NXT.
What about Beth Phoenix?
I think if Beth was offered it, I think she'd come back into it, and I would love to see Karma come back. To see Karma.
Oh, do you know what she's doing right now?
She is an actress on Glow.
Glow, yeah. I saw that, and I was like, oh shit! I was like, I think we talked about her. We didn't know what she was doing.
I watched Glow and didn't realize it was her until I looked at an article. I want to say it was a few days ago about like former WWE stars. Where are they now?
Oh yeah, I read that one.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I saw it from. I was like, oh shit, that's right, she was in it because I did watch that season on Netflix. I don't know if the second season's come out yet or if there's gonna be a second season, but that was actually a pretty good show.
Really? I'm gonna check it out.
If you're a wrestling fan, check it out. It kind of gives you a brief history of the old Glow company. I don't think the events are exact to how it went, but they're very similar to what it was. So it's a pretty good show to watch on Netflix if you're a wrestling fan. But yeah, I would love to see her kind of come back in and kind of like stand toe to toe with Nia Jax.
I think Rosemary
would be awesome. I would love to see her make her debut. And even this Candice LeRae, who we heard was signed by WWE.
Right. Just signed.
I mean, she could make an appearance there. There's so many. And then maybe next week or something like that, we'll put together the 30-woman Royal Rumble. Because we have 14 openings here.
Oh, this is true.
So as of right now, we know of like the 16 who are set, who are WWE stars on Raw and SmackDown. So the other 14 will kind of guesstimate or make our predictions on who NXT and who.
It's already been pretty much confirmed that the Bellas are going to be in it.
Bellas are both of them.
Both of them.
Okay.
And they're gonna have a run at least until WrestleMania. Nikki was the one that hurt her neck, right?
Yes.
So I know she can't do a whole hell of a lot. I'm really wondering what kind of shape Brie is in.
I watched Total Divas because that's what I do. But yeah, she talked about like ever since she had the kids, she hasn't really gone to the gym and so that. I know it's like there's some episodes like where she was training in the ring, but all these episodes that are out now, these were all recorded back around SummerSlam.
Right.
So who knows how much training she's been in since then. I know they have a YouTube channel. I know they're on Instagram and stuff. So you could probably figure that information out for yourself. But why look up information ahead of time?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck. Yeah. Being prepared and shit.
So they just they started this whole mixed match challenge thing.
Right.
I think we talked about that a little bit last week and everything. Yep. They finally have all the teams together. It looks like, from my understanding, that it's exclusively off of Facebook Watch. So
that's weird.
It's an odd concept because you would think that if they did something special like this, unless the only reason they're doing it is to promote their Facebook, this would be like an 30 network thing.
Right.
So to kind of touch base on like the matchups and everything is you have Bayley and Elias, which we kind of talked about. We talked about before the show. Is originally it was supposed to be Bayley and Samoa Joe because they did a poll on the WWE Facebook on who would team with Bayley, whether it be Elias, Samoa Joe, or Jason Jordan, and the votes were pretty much a guarantee that Samoa Joe was the winner, but because of injury per WWE, Samoa Joe is not part of the show. Instead, Elias is going to take over.
If you can't hear the air quotation marks, because of injury.
So much sarcasm. But you do have Bayley team up with Elias, Alicia Fox team up with Goldust, which kind of is a unique.
It kind of fits.
It's a unique tag team that it's hard not to see them together,
right? Because
of how they are. You have Asuka and The Miz, which I think is kind of a
that's weird.
It's an odd pairing, yeah. Nia Jax with Apollo Crews. I think the only reason they're doing that because I think originally it was supposed to be Enzo Amore, but Apollo Crews took his spot because of his illness.
Right.
Sasha Banks and Finn Balor, which that's pretty much compatible, and then Alexa and Braun Strowman, which is
hilarious.
It's so funny, and if you ever go on YouTube and look up these like announcements and shit. It's funny, like, how, like, he pulls her against him, kind of like a buddy-buddy thing, and, like, her head goes to, like, his thigh. It's funny to watch. And
how much do you want to see him just pick her up and dart her at somebody?
I would love to fucking do, or a girl press slam thing.
Right.
That'd be awesome. Now it's on the Raw side, so on SmackDown, why don't you go ahead and name off these SmackDown ones? I'll let you be part of the show too.
SmackDown, you got Carmella and Big E, which is that's a little weird.
Yeah, that's a random one to me.
And then you have Becky Lynch and Sami Zayn. And this is the one we were talking about, which was really weird because it's face and heel.
Yeah, and when he did, like, he made the announcement to her.
Yeah,
as dressing up like a fan or something like that
with a little beard and everything.
Yeah, and it was almost like a face kind of thing. Yeah,
it's goofy Sami Zayn. I think no matter what you do with Sami Zayn, it's gonna be goofy. Natalya and Shinsuke Nakamura, which again is a heel and a face.
Yeah, that's. I've noticed, like, with SmackDown, I guess I can't say that because with Raw too. I mean, there's a lot of odd pairings.
Right.
So
Naomi and Jimmy, which I believe that is the husband and wife duo, right?
Yeah, so is the next one actually too. Yeah,
Lana and Rusev.
So those are literally, those two are probably the most perfect match,
right? Because
they both are, like, in real life husband and wives.
And I think this last one to me is like the perfect pairing.
Yeah.
Is Bobby Roode and Charlotte Flair.
Oh, they're going to coordinate their robes.
The robe. What did they call them on SmackDown? The Robe Warriors? The
Robe Warriors.
Corey Graves like, shut up, Saxton.
But yeah, I mean, it's awesome how they're doing this. I like the mixed tag thing. I didn't read much of the rules. I don't know if you have or anything, but I'm trying to figure out, like, because it is WWE, it has to be guy, girl. Right. Like, they won't have a guy facing a girl.
No. Could you imagine being a female having to face Braun Strowman?
Nia? Come on now.
Well, maybe Nia.
I would love to see Nia do a Samoan drop to Braun Strowman. That would be amazing.
If she could get him up.
So out of our list here, we don't know what the pairings are. We don't know what the matchups are. But the one thing I do know about it is that each team is fighting for their own
charity.
Yeah,
oh, okay. That's
so
cool.
Yeah, so each one has their own different one. I did have a list of them. I can't remember off the top of my head which ones are which, but you can find it on WWE.com. They list each one and who they're in what. But if you had to look at this without knowing who's facing who and what pairings, because I think this is a tournament style thing.
So it's like an elimination tournament?
I think so, yeah. So out of these teams, who do you see to not only be like a dark horse, who you would think go farther than you would expect, and who do you think will take the overall win?
Overall win? I'm going to go Flair and Rude.
Okay.
And dark, like
a dark horse, like one you think would be on the first round but couldn't make it through to the end.
Jackson Cruz.
I'm with you on the Charlotte and Rude. I think they're probably the one of the best, like, in-ring competitor pairings in here.
Right.
If I went dark horse on this, I would probably have to go. I'm torn between Bayley and Elias or Carmella and Big E. I'm gonna have to go with Bayley and Elias. I think they'd be like a dark horse one. Like Elias, like, is still kind of like new, growing up and everything. He's definitely like at that mid card status right now. Bayley, I think, is at the top of the women's division in Raw. So I don't see them like really pushing forward to the finals, because I mean there's so many other ones that are capable of going to the finals. I mean, Asuka and The Miz I can see in the finals. Strowman and Alexa I can see in the finals. Charlotte and Rude definitely in the finals, and a little bit of Natalya and Nakamura. So I can see like those definitely be in the finals.
That's such a weird pairing.
It is fucking weird. It's so goofy. Lynch and Zayn I can see being if I'm going to guess, Lynch and Zayn are taking Alexa and Braun Strowman in the first round, just because I think people want to see Braun Strowman powerbomb Sami Zayn. Or power slam Sami Zayn.
Really?
Well, I mean, you got to remember, I mean, when Sami Zayn was on Raw, he had like that minor feud with Braun Strowman where he actually, I think, gave Braun Strowman his first loss by countout. Or no, there was a time match where he had to last like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or something in the match with him at that pay-per-view Mick Foley set up. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So Sami Zayn, I think that was technically Braun Strowman's first loss, because Zayn lasted the 10 or 15 or 5 minutes, whatever the hell it was, in the ring with Braun Strowman. So I think Strowman would kind of want some revenge on that and powerbomb, Sami Zayn multiple times, kind of like how he did to Rhino and Heath Slater on Raw a couple weeks ago.
The crowd one more time.
Yeah,
okay.
He gave the crowd exactly what he wanted.
So you didn't watch Raw this past week, though?
Not yet, no. So, I heard, but I want you to tell me. Go ahead, though.
So the Miz came back.
I heard that.
The Shield-ish people lost to the Balor Club.
I'm so glad they're doing that Balor Club thing. I hope they stick with that.
I like it. I like it so much. I feel like it's something different. And then what I also realized is it's the rise of the 3-man team is happening again. Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine the Balor Club being out to help AJ in his handicap match?
That would be amazing.
Right? All 4 of those guys in the ring together.
And then the Miz Taraj comes in, and the Miz comes in, and they just fuck up Roman Reigns' day pretty bad. They're getting out of the ring, and the crowd, Miz is going out, the crowd goes, one more time. Miz looks at the Miz Taraj, and they get back in the ring, and they do the Shield power bomb to Roman Reigns.
Awesome.
It was definitely awesome.
I like that. No, I like the Miz. I'm growing more and more to like the Miz. Not the in-ring competitor, but the guy behind the mic. Because he can talk, and when he's putting his heart into what he's saying, it's an amazing thing that he does.
I think he's a pretty decent in-ring competitor too, though.
He is, but I mean that's not what I see him as.
Right.
He's a great competitor. I'll never say he's not a great competitor in the ring, but when I think of the Miz, I don't think of the wrestler. I think of the guy who could talk.
You know who he reminds me of? Piper.
Yeah.
But winning championships.
Yeah. Yep. They never gave Piper a chance.
Assholes.
Yeah. In a few weeks, they're going to start announcing Hall of Fame inductees, which I'm assuming there are. I don't have any inside scoop on when they're doing it, but we can assume within the next couple of weeks they're going to start making announcements. Just out of curiosity, like, who do you think is going to get in? Not like an obvious one, but like one who should have been in right away. Do you have an idea of who do you think should be in that's not in?
Vader.
See, I was going to say Vader too. You took my answer there.
I actually pulled up a list the other day while I was at work of who was in the Hall of Fame. I didn't realize they had skipped quite a few years in between some of the Hall of Fame inductions.
Yeah, I know like they did like early 90s, like with Andre the Giant and all them.
With no special recognition or anything. They just put them in.
Yep. Yeah, there was no like get together or like show, if you will, like it is now. But yeah, I think like the early 90s, and they skipped a lot of the mid 90s and stuff like that. And then they started doing like the induction ceremonies and all that shit, and the people talking about them and everything.
Yeah, did DX go in?
No, DX.
You got to figure at some point in time DX has to go in, or the NWO.
I would never think that they would do anything like that, but when they did that with the Four Horsemen, it's kind of like they have to. I mean, the Heart Foundation, the NWO, DX, like that stuff. I mean, if you're going to do it for one, then yeah, they're going to do it for the others.
But see, if you got to do original NWO.
It would just be Hall, Nash, and Hogan.
Right.
Even though they're all Hall of Famers now.
Right.
I mean, Flair has 2 rings.
Well, we were talking earlier about the table for 3.
Yeah.
So it was him, Orton, and I forget who else was with him. But he told Orton to hurry up and retire so he could get a 3rd ring for Evolution. I was like, oh, that might just happen.
So, I just pulled this up real quick. So, not in the halloffame.com.
Huh.
So, if we look at the WWE section here, I'm just going to list them off because we have so much time left.
Right.
Why not, right? So you have Vince McMahon, which is obvious. Vince McMahon eventually will get in the Undertaker.
I don't think McMahon's going to go in until after he leaves the company or after he dies.
Oh yeah.
I don't see him wanting to take it himself.
No, if he went into the WWE before he passed away or retired, then people are going to think he just handed it to himself.
Right.
And I don't think he wants that. Undertaker, Rock, and Triple H. I mean, these are all guaranteed Hall of Famers. Ivan Koloff is kind of a surprising one that's not in yet.
Oh, I didn't think that.
Oh, maybe this is old. Why don't you look up Ivan Koloff and see if he got put in yet?
I'm just saying. It just shocks me that he's not in.
But now that I'm thinking about it, maybe he actually is. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But yeah, go ahead and look that one up. And I'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho, he'll definitely get in.
He'll definitely get in.
Bruiser Brody, I know he's not in, which is kind of surprising. Because
stabby.
He was a big name. Batista, I could see him going in, but not for years. Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Kane, Owen Hart. Those all I could definitely see being no doubt Hall of Famers. I mean, even Daniel Bryan, who I know he doesn't have like a long, like luxurious career in WWE, but he's fully capable of being in there. Destroyer, I'm not too familiar with his career, but
from the looks of the black and white photo, I mean, either one of us will be.
Yeah. Paul Heyman, Davey Boy Smith, obvious one. See, Owen Hart, Davey Boy Smith could both be in together as part of the Hart Foundation. Yep. That gives you Bret Hart, again, he'll get another ring. Then Jim the Anvil Neidhart, who I don't think on his own is like WWE Hall of Fame material. Nothing against him in any way. I just don't recall his career being big. Davey Boy Smith, I can see getting in on his own. Between being with the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, doing his solo thing. Owen Hart, I can see going on his own too. So those four could go in as the Hart Foundation. Ray Stevens, don't know too much about him. Giant Baba, I heard a lot about him. I think he was the one that had that match with Andre the Giant out in Japan. Dynamite Kid, which I believe is the other half of is he the other half of the British Bulldogs?
Yes.
Is that the one? Okay. Demolition. Demolition was one I heard was supposed to get in this year. They're a rumored one for this year.
I thought they would have been in already too.
JBL, he'll definitely be in one day. Oh man, there's a lot of pages. I'm not gonna go through all the pages. That's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean
RVD, Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, I can see going in this year.
I don't know. Well, he's with Impact right now.
Yeah, Vader is one that we mentioned might go in. Honky Tonk Man's not in yet. Luger, the Crusher. There we go. Before there was a Stone Cold Steve Austin chugging beer and identifying with every man, there was a man who made Milwaukee famous, the barrel-chested Reggie Crusher Lazowski.
Jesus.
Yeah. Great Muda. I'm surprised he's not in yet. Goldberg was one that was rumored to go in this year. Christian, I think, could probably make a name for, a strong defense for him. I mean, he's not as big as what Edge was, but he did have a great career nonetheless. The Steiner brothers, I can see going in.
I can see them going in, but they're not going to go in until Scott calms the fuck down.
Yeah.
Rick Martel,
Dick the Bruiser. Dick the Bruiser one I'm surprised he's not in yet either. We got Elizabeth. Johnny Valentine I don't know much about. Thunder Liger I've heard a lot about, but never.
Oh, he was big WCW Cruiserweight division. That I remember. Stan
Stasiak, I can see going in. Ken Patera, don't know much about. King Kong Bundy, I'm surprised isn't in yet.
Yeah.
Kamala, I'm surprised. And I actually, I watched the video. I can't remember what the video was. Maybe it was Beyond the Mat or whatever the hell it was. About Kamala. Like, after his career, he was hit with diabetes so bad, he actually lost his legs.
Yeah, he ain't got no legs.
Yeah. Like Lieutenant Dan.
Yep.
Just like Dan.
Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs.
El Santo, I don't know much about. It's like I really don't want to go through all these pages, but now I really can't stop. This is the point where people kind of just turn off the podcast.
Right.
You know what? I'm not going to go through the rest of it. What I will do is I will link this in our show notes below and everything, so you guys can go back and look at the ones that There's 19 pages of it, and you're not going to sit here and listen to me read all 19.
Bam Bam Bigelow?
Bam Bam Bigelow is another one I heard rumored to go in this year. Yeah. New Age Outlaws I can see going in. Pillman could go in with the Hart Foundation too. So I mean, the Hart Foundation
would cover a lot.
Induction would cover a lot of people who you don't see going in individually, but at the same time, it's like people want to see Owen Hart in the Hall of Fame.
I think Owen needs to go on his own though. I really do.
Yeah.
Kevin Sullivan.
Sullivan, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'll put the link on there. We're only on page 3 of 19. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but yeah, no, definitely check out the website. Like I said, I'll link in the show notes below and all that. Another thing that's interesting me is like there's not a lot of independence going on in our area right now.
No, it's been pretty quiet out here.
It's unsettling.
It is very unsettling.
It's like because we want to do so much with independence, in the area for this podcast, but like we can't because there's nothing going on. SCW hasn't set a new show yet, which maybe they're taking January off.
Sometimes they take a month off.
Yeah, Powerhouse Wrestling. They haven't had a show since October. So
I don't know. I don't know what to think.
I'll tell you one thing I can think about. I think the biggest problem is our listeners are not taking advantage of the opportunity to help us out and letting us know when the indie shows are happening.
Right.
Because we can only know so much about what's going on in the area without the help of others. So, to the listeners, as we've mentioned before, if you know of an indie show happening, let us know so maybe we can set something up to go watch it. Because we want to do a lot more indie shows for this podcast. It's one of the biggest reasons we started this podcast, is to do indie show stuff.
It's more fun.
It's a lot more fun. So if you let us know when those are happening, then we'll go out to them. And another cool thing that I think we're going to start doing, which I missed the deadline for this month, unfortunately, so it's going to have to wait till next month. I'm going to subscribe to That Wrestling box that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if I can pull it up real quick. It's actually called That Wrestling Crate, I think it's called.
That I used to do
That Wrestling Club.
Yeah.
So I was gonna sign up for this, because they had an autographed Braun Strowman Pops figure.
Nice.
Which, I mean, as you can see, I'm starting to collect the Pops figures. So I thought this would be a cool one to add to the collection, and it's autographed. And unfortunately, when you don't sign up or subscribe or whatever by the 11th of the month, they get sold out and you have to wait till the next month. So I got the notification for this. I was so ready to sign up for it, but I couldn't do it at work. I had to wait till I got home. But when I got home, it was 1:30 in the morning on the 12th. So I missed the deadline. So unfortunately, I do not get the autographed Braun Strowman and the other stuff that came in the box. So I'll have to wait till February 11th comes around so I can sign up for that. And when I do, I think one of the things that obviously we're going to do on the show, I'm going to unbox on the show.
Ooh.
I will say what's in the box, talk about what's in the box. I'll take pictures of everything in the box and put it on our Instagram. And then maybe like down the road, we'll turn that into like a YouTube unboxing too. So we can kind of, two birds, one stone thing.
I've joined a couple of these boxes. I did Loot Crate, I did the Marvel. Loot Crate actually got this shirt in. And I've had it for a while. You can see it's still pretty much fitting.
Have you ever done any of the wrestling boxes, or
No.
has it just been the Marvel ones?
It's just been the Marvel and the Loot Crate.
I got you. Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I was going to do one of the Marvel ones because a buddy of mine does the Marvel Loot Crate because he gets the pop figures.
Yeah,
from
right.
Marvel.
They come in the pop boxes.
Yeah. And I thought about doing that, but I think if I was to spend the subscription money monthly, it'd want to be on something that like I above and beyond enjoy. Like I enjoy Marvel,
right,
but not as much as I enjoy wrestling. If I get a wrestling T-shirt, a wrestling DVD, an autograph, or something to add to the the JFW wrestling collection, then I would love to do that over the Marvel stuff. But this box, which is that wrestling shop, thatwrestlingshop.com. It also has like non-box items that you can also purchase. A signed picture of Tessa Blanchard, which I think was in the December box. It was actually in that one. You can buy that. You can buy the autograph from Sheik. I think there was actually an autographed mask of Kane's on here. Yeah, right there. They sold it, but I mean they have stuff like that, and they always have things. Vader. They have the pop figures, the Finn Balor one, but they also have the Chase one, which is the limited edition ones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call it the Chase figures. So there's a lot of cool things that come in the box. I'm really excited to get signed up for next month and see how it goes.
Get some NWO sacks and then turn them into JFW sacks.
Or the when Vince McMahon became the higher power when he was revealed as the higher power. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things here that you could buy additionally outside of getting the subscription. But I think I'm gonna get the subscription. Who knows? Maybe there's stuff inside that I won't like, and we could raffle it off to our listeners in like some kind of contest or something.
Or sell it at a wrestling show.
Yeah. So I'm mainly doing it just for the T-shirts and the pot figures. So
it's almost worth the $30 to get a decent T-shirt that fits for so long.
Yeah. Well, being the bigger guy, I gotta get the heavyweight box.
Right.
So it's $37.99 a month.
Yeah,
so
still not bad.
No, for a T-shirt and a pop figure is normally $8 to $10 alone.
Right.
T-shirts like $18 to $20 alone. So I mean, you're getting your money back already on that stuff. Plus the additional like the autographs and pins or whatever else they throw in there. So I'm excited to do it. We'll see how long we do it for. And the cool thing is, like, I could cancel whenever I want. I could, decide not to do a box for that month or something like that.
Skip it or something like that.
Yeah, like I know a few months ago they had like the AJ Styles box, the pot. So I mean, like, right now I got Andre the Giant, The Undertaker, Sting, and AJ Styles. So if like in a couple months something like that they have like a Pops Sting figure in there or something like that, and I decide I don't want it, then I can just skip that month and it won't charge me. So it's pretty cool to do stuff like that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, see how people like it and everything, and just kind of have to go from there on that.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, really, I think we kind of, well, I mean, we didn't make it to our hour, but no. I mean, we got pretty damn close to it. I mean,
we could talk about the match pick of the week, which was Jericho versus Kenny Omega at Wrestle Kingdom 12.
So that's go ahead and talk about that pick of the week. Talk about Dizzle J's pick of the week.
Dizzle J's pick of the week. Ding 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 ding. So, last week I talked about making this was going to be my one last week, but I didn't feel that it was up to par. But yeah. I couldn't, I'm looking around. I was like, I put it on this week.
Yeah,
it was a decent match. It was more of a hardcore match than anything else for me. And I didn't want to see that from Jericho and Omega.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like not cruiserweight, but a little bit more flying, a little more technical.
Right. Yeah. But it was a good match. Again, won't tell you the ending. He come out looking like a Egyptian god with a gun. Mm-hmm. Doesn't shoot anything that I saw. Yeah. But it's the return of Jericho super heel, I guess you could say.
Yeah, Steven Tyler edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fozzy rocks.
Yeah. Like I said, I love the fact that he used Judas by Fozzy as an entrance song. I like that this wasn't a WWE thing.
Right.
And this is my first New Japan match that I watched something of. I didn't watch the whole match. I watched part of the match because it was late at night. I dozed off during the midpoint of it. I did watch the highlights of it. It seemed like a great match. I am going to go back and rewatch it when we release this.
It's a pretty decent...
Yeah.
It's a decently long match.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of great reversals. There was some technical fighting in it, but a lot of it was hardcore around the arena stuff.
Right.
And yeah, dude, it was a good match. It's a good pick for this week and everything. That's going to be posted on our Facebook.
Yep.
Around the same time that this show gets released. Was also, you can find us on Facebook. You just search JFW Podcast or Just Freaking Wrestling. Our page is there, and all you got to do is just like it. You get notifications and stuff when we post things on there. Also, we're on Twitter, JFW Podcast. We're also on Instagram, where you're going to find hopefully starting next month or possibly March, because I'm going to sign up in February, depending on when the box shows up. We'll start doing unboxings and stuff, so we'll be at least one of those once a month. Pictures of that stuff will fall on the Instagram.
Oh, man, I'm going to start dressing nice for these things.
Yeah.
Comb my hair and stuff.
Right, you're going to start wearing pants.
Hey. There was no rule about pants before we started this show.
Pretty sure there's a strong rule there somewhere. I mean, it's like one of those unwritten rules.
Yeah, if it wasn't written, it's not meant to be.
Yeah, so follow us on social media: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, JFW Podcast, Just Freaking Wrestling. If you guys have friends who are fans of wrestling and you find our show interesting and you want them to share it, we are on iTunes, we are on Google Play, and we are on Podbean. The show goes out pretty much weekly, unless a major life event happens, like traveling outside for work or family events, something like that. But we are predominantly here, every single week.
Oh yeah, and if sometimes we'll put out 2 shows in 1 week.
We have done that. We've done that before and everything. If you guys are, if anyone out there, if you're an indie wrestler and you want to get a bio of yourself put up online, you can send us an email with your information and a picture that you want us to post on our website. You can send that to jfwpodcast@yahoo.com. If you go to our website, the link to our website is in the show notes below, as well as it's on our Facebook. If you know of an indie show, let us know, because we would love to get out more and get out to see these shows, because we love seeing the live action matches.
It's just like we said, it's more fun to get involved with that, and so much more fun to talk about, because indie show, you really can't predict what's going to happen, because you there's not really a writer.
No, exactly. Yeah, so we love to go to indie shows, and we love for you guys to help us find the ones in the area that we can go to. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions you want to ask us about the show, you can message us on Facebook. You can email us at jfwpodcast@yahoo.com. Or if you go to our website, go to the comment section and post it there. We'll name drop you on the show, and we'll answer any questions you have. Or even if you have a recommendation on what you want us to talk about, let us know. We'd love to do it. You got anything else?
No, I think it's time to ring the bell in this episode.
Perfect. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Dizzle J.
And thank you for listening to another episode of Just Freaking Wrestling, the JFW Podcast.
Peace.